Good morning, guys. I hope you're having a great weekend. Luke with Premium Aquatics here. Today on this tank, I'm putting in rock. I have 3 different types I'm going to show you. I'm going to layer them just like I did the sand. I've got Nios Reef cement to put it all together into an aquascape, but I'll separate them just so you can see what they look like individually, which one you like, if you want to mix them, if you don't want to mix them, and I'll let you know what I like the best. So let's get this going. Okay, there. What do we got going on here? Getting ready to open up a can of whoop. Excuse me? Did I stutter? All right, let's go. Come on. Take a seat. All right, you ready for this? What's this? It's, stuff that Olympians use, put on their hands, better grip. Where'd you find it? Pantry. Do you mean our flour? Listen, did you come here to fight or to gripe? Let's go. Oh my word. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do it. Who am I playing today? You're playing with Marco here. I got Real Reef. Marco? All right, buddy. Let's get it. Sonic boom! Fight! Sonic boom! Got him! What now? Get back to work and clean up this flour. Sheesh. So, I actually have 3 rocks I'm going to be showing you, but I only had 2 characters for the Rock'em Sock'em to play with. So I've got the Marco, the Real Reef, and then I actually have a 3rd, which is the R.I.P Life Rock. So I'll be showing you all. I just have to clean up a mess first, so give me a second. This is the Nios Reef cement. This is what I'm going to be using to create my aquascape. You can also use this for corals. I'm hoping to use it to make some ledges, some caves. If you like to get fancy with your rock work like I do, it can be a very big teetering act between these rocks that they don't have, specific ledges or holes for you to put stuff in, so you want to be very careful. So I'm going to use this and see what we get, see what the strength is. You're basically mixing this with water to create a dough-like consistency, and then we'll utilize that to bond our parts together. It's only a 2-minute bonding time, so you want to be a little bit quick with it and mix just as you go, so you don't have this whole thing harden up on you. It does work inside of the water or outside, so you can do either or. If you have a little patchwork to do, that's how I would do it, inside the water. If you decide, oh shoot, I missed this part, I wish I'd have something there just to make it a little bit stronger, mix them up, throw it in there, get it ready to go. Otherwise, I do probably most of it outside, and that way you don't have to reach your arms in the aquarium and be a little bit awkward that way. Here's the 3 types I'm going to be having inside the system. I've got the Real Reef right here, which is a man-made color. We sell it in the dry and live version. As always, I'll put links in the description below so you can take a look at all our rock selections that are out. There's quite a few options, so take a look at it. Over here we have the Marco Dry Rock, and then back here we have the R.I.P Life Rock, which is also a man-made coloration. Here's a pan through just of what I've got. They range in sizes. For the most part, I try to get a little bit more medium just for my tank, obviously, but most of these you can get small, medium, large, and even some extra large. So here's an idea of what you might see with some of the Real Reef. There is even some color variances that go from not too much of the purple all the way to pretty dark here in this back one. So really nice variances. I like that it's not all one color to make it so it's not looking too overly fake or anything of that nature. You'll have coralline algae that covers this all anyways, but it is nice to see that it's not too overbearing. And here we have the Marco rock, which again, I've gotten some smaller pieces, got some larger pieces back here. You can get some flat shapes like this one here, but I only have 2 pieces of the Carib Sea Life Rock, but the shapes, like on this first one, is really, really nice. I love that piece. And then we have this back one. Got my cardboard here. I did a cutout for the overflow just to keep that in mind and remember that I have it when I plan the rock out. Also, another thing to keep in mind is obviously, even though a tank's 48 by 24, the inside dimensions are just a little bit smaller. So if you're trying to be exact, keep that in mind. And then we also want to keep in mind the height of the tank, taking into consideration your sand depth that you're running. And then you want to make sure that obviously your rock is not completely up against any of the glass. If you have a magnet scraper to clean your glass, you want to make sure that you have enough room to run that around the perimeter of the tank. So I'm going to keep those clear. Then I might even keep the back wall clear of rock, just in case I find any dead spots back there. I can put a power head on the back side and get water to move back through there and just pick up any of those dead spots, so I don't have that working against me. So I think I'm going to do the Carib Sea Life Rock. Since I have that nice round piece, I think that might work pretty perfectly around the overflow. Then I'll do the Real Reef, since that's very close in similarity to those. That way we can see as the tank matures how those vary. Then we'll put the Marco on the right hand side. So I'll get this going. All right, so I think I have this particular rock set up how I want it. It's leaning forward just so I don't forget my places. So we're gonna get Reef cement going here. I've got 2 little shot glasses here just used for my purposes. I don't know how much each is gonna make, so we're just gonna test it out with 3 parts of this and then 1 part of cold filtered water here. One part of the water. And we're just going to mix it up to create that dough-like consistency. Hopefully you can see what I'm getting here. I think we're going to end up adding a little bit more powder to it. And this will be basically like if you ever cooked anything with flour, go very slowly. If you decide you need a little bit more water, a little bit more powder, add it just a little at a time here so you're not overdoing it. All right, so I think I'm going to go with this consistency. Try it out here. We'll put it on this rock, see how it does for me, and then we'll see how strong it gets and see if I need to make it a little bit thicker than this. Moment of truth here. I want to make sure that this is going to hold up before I put it in the aquarium. Obviously, I'm still going to be very, very cautious with it, just because if I drop it or anything like that, it will break at the joints where I put the cement. I've got 4 here, and there we go. It's holding. I'm still, like I said, going to be very careful with it. I think the big thing with this cement is you want to make sure that cement has plenty to grab onto. If this was just 2 flat pieces and I had 4 joints I was trying to connect it to, it may not do as well just because it doesn't have anything to hold onto and grab onto. But I've got plenty of little nooks and crannies here that I've been able to squeeze it into, and it just gives it that much more grip. So we're going to get this inside the aquarium by the overflow, and then I'm going to move on to the next piece. Okay guys, so here's the rock. It's in the system. I've got the 3 types separated out for you so you can see, and I know it's a little bit harder to tell from this angle, so I'll get you closer in here. Don't worry about it, so you can see what each rock looks like, what the cement looks like within the rock, and just the shapes and color of each underneath actual lighting. I have an 8-bulb T5. There's only 6 lamps being ran on it right now, white with a tint of blue, and there's a little bit of pink in there. So this will give you an idea of what we're looking at. For the cement, I ended up using almost all of it, just a tiny bit left. I think I overdid it on the first few pieces, and I just wasted a lot between those 2 contact points for those first 4 rocks that I used. So if I were to do it again, I highly recommend get a few smaller pieces out that you're looking to put together, that you know how you want it, and then just mix up little batches to start off with, and see how far it goes for you. That way you know exactly how much you're going to be mixing up and what you need for the remainder of your builds. I ended up not putting any on the Marco, just to kind of get an idea, well, 1, because I didn't have any left, but also it'll help me get an idea of just how it stands up against the rock that has the cement on it, and we'll see how it compares as far as stability when we get stuff in there and when I move around, and see how clumsy I get. So I really like all these rocks. I think my favorite, and I think the winner for me personally, is going to be the Real Reef. I like the coloration just a little bit more. It's a little bit darker in hue with the purples, the reds, and some of the pinks. When I get you in here, you'll see the cement. It's a very big contrast to the rest of the rock, especially if you're using a lot of it, where some of them that I did. So for me, it's not a big deal because I know all this rock is going to become colored over anyways with coralline algae, so it's not a big deal. You just have to have a little bit of patience, which goes a long way in this hobby. Biggest factor for me is I want great shapes. I want caves, I want caverns, I want things where fish swim in and out of and that I can watch and just soak myself and immerse myself in this underwater world that, you know, I don't have anywhere in the vicinity in Indiana. The biggest thing is just figuring out what you want and going from there. I love these rocks. I'll get you in here closer so you can take a look at it. Outside, this is the Marco. Just for reference, this is approximately 27 pounds of Marco rock. Gets you quite a nice coverage there. Then we go over to the Real Reef, which I had 32 pounds. Also gets really nice coverage there. And then the Carib Sea, I got this from a box that was already broken up, so I didn't weigh it before I brought it up. So I would guesstimate probably around 10, 15 pounds, somewhere in there, maybe a little more. But let's go ahead and take a dive in real quick. Alright guys, I'm getting out of here. Have a great weekend as always. Make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications so you stay the most up to date on this system as well as our other videos. You don't want to be missing out on this. I hope this video gave you a bird's eye as to what these rocks look like underneath the lights with the aquascaping, with the Nios Reef cement, how easy that was. I loved it. I would do it again for the next system as well. Maybe I'll even do it, get some more and put it on that Marco rock and show a little bit underwater use with it. So if you have any questions, make sure to put them in the comments below. Again, I'll put links in the description for everything that was here, and we'll see you next week.